Hello everyone and welcome to a new video from Your Overwatch. I'm Eddie the Chump and today we've got a bit of a news roundup for you. And the first story we're going to talk about today surrounds the very popular but often controversial streamer xQc and his potential future within the Overwatch League. Now if you've been watching the league recently, you'll know that the Dallas Fuel aren't in a fantastic state as a team, which is disappointing to a lot of their fans as before the tournament began, they were one of the most popular and best thought of prospects. xQc has obviously had some of his own problems, even getting suspended in the Muma incident for most of Stage 1. Now a few days ago, Rod Breslau, otherwise known as Slasher, reported that the Dallas Fuel have actually picked up another tank player, and that's the Korean OGE. Slasher's tweet also noted that the team is also experiencing internal problems stemming from issues both in and out of the game. Now none of us outside the team actually know what's going on, but it does appear that that camp isn't exactly the happiest. And it's now come to light that xQc is considering his role on the team, and whether or not to stay or step down. He's even gone as far as to tweet that he feels like he ruined the Dallas Fuel. On a personal note, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that that's probably not true. Complex problems with team dynamics are very rarely just one person's fault. Those tweets and those comments in his own Discord reflect to me that xQc is a very emotional player. He gets incredibly invested in most things that he does. But it is beyond argument that Dallas are not doing that great. They lost to the San Francisco Shock last night pretty convincingly. Something does appear to be in need of giving. xQc himself has offered the opinion that his team lack a clear identity. They're playing passive and aggressive at the same time, pulling in too many different directions. What was historically seen as their strength, their planned tactical flexibility, has turned against them a little bit. Being in a highly competitive team environment is obviously a lot of pressure, and I think that's why we're seeing xQc consider his options. Now luckily for him, he does have some. He is a very popular streamer, albeit a little bit controversial like I said earlier. He doesn't need to be a pro player to be successful, like some of his contemporaries might. It might also be a case of his sensibility being a little bit out of sync with the professionalism that Blizzard want for the Overwatch League. If you have ever watched his stream, he's clearly a natural entertainer. If that's a big part of his personality, he might find it difficult to edit himself in the ways expected of him. All of this is guesswork, obviously, but I think these are quite reasonable explanations actually as to why he might feel he needs to make a big decision soon. Now for our second story, there's a bit of an undercurrent in the pro scene at the moment, with a lot of them having concerns about the power of the new Sombra, particularly the speed and effectiveness of the new hack. I'll just show you this short clip from the Houston Outlaw player Jake's stream.
Zach, oh my god. What a fucking mechanic for really good players. I can't believe this is in the game, dude.
Now the rumours are that in scrims, the new Sombra presents a few problems as far as competitive Overwatch is concerned, particularly surrounding how hard she makes tanks to play and the knock-on effects that that has on viable team compositions. Now because the Overwatch League is played on a different patch to the one that we currently play on and live in matchmaking, we've yet to see what really top-tier organised teams and players can do with the new Sombra. I think we can all agree what we don't want is a new Mercy meta type scenario, whereby a single hero's kit is just so important that it decides almost the entire rest of the meta. It also wouldn't be great for the Overwatch League in Stage 3 if Sombra does turn out to be as overpowered as some pros think she might be. Now we will actually be doing a separate video this week about the new Sombra to follow up on the one I made a few weeks ago when she first got changed. It might be the case with Sombra that the more organised your team environment, the more powerful she actually becomes. If she does in fact turn out to be that strong at the pro level, Blizzard might do well to react a little faster than they did with Mercy, as no one really wants a repeat of that scenario. You'll have to let me know what you think about the new Sombra in the comments below. I'll be interested to read them. Moving on to another story, if you didn't know, there was a PTR patch last night, and it appears as if Blizzard may have relaxed some of the vertical momentum changes they made to Brigitte's shield bash jump. At first when she was released, it was quite significant, and then they removed it almost completely, and in her current state on the PTR, she now seems to be somewhere in between those two extremes. What's slightly difficult to understand is the lack of patch notes from last night, as Blizzard haven't yet detailed every change or explained their reasoning. Now I have to say, I'm one of those people that likes things like this. I really loved it when Doomfist could move in ways that we'd never seen before in Overwatch. But up until this point, those kind of hero interactions with map geometry were seemingly a big no-no for Blizzard. Now Brigitte's quote-unquote rocket jump was never as severe as Doomfist, but it was in the same vein. But the important thing is that this is the first time that Blizzard have apparently changed their mind, and instead of removing hero behavior that they didn't expect, they've decided to perhaps lean into it a little bit. Now all of this is subject to change obviously, because Brigitte is still only on the PTR, and Blizzard have noted that it's going to be a fairly long period of time before she goes live. So unfortunately console players, you might not ever see a super jump version of Brigitte. But to be fair, she is really fun anyway just with her regular kit, so it won't be that much of a disappointment. Now another story that might have directly impacted a number of you watching the video is that there's been a lot of disruption with Blizzard services today. Jeff has even mentioned it on the forums. Apparently a lot of users can't connect to servers or authenticate their accounts. Now Blizzard did in fact tweet out that this is due to some hardware fiber cuts that affect some of the web services they use to run these systems. If this was affecting you as it was me, this is the reason why. Unfortunately, there's no ETA for it to be fixed, so I guess we'll just have to be patient. And a final fun story to round off the video. In what seems to be an ongoing tradition now, much like the Let Zen Walk clip, Blizzard responded to a crowd sign at the Overwatch League last night, which requested that they give Mercy 2 guns. They duly obliged, and this hilarious clip of Mercy doing her best Reaper impersonation made it to the Play Overwatch Twitter. I love it when they do stuff like this. It's really embracing the fun and silly side of the game. Although to be fair, if anyone deserves 2 guns, it's your boy McCree. Think of all the Young Guns memes. Sorry, most of you probably weren't born early enough to get that reference, but trust me, it'd be cool. And that's about it for today, guys. Let me know in the comments any of your opinions about the news items from today's video, particularly about the state of Sombra in the game. Do you think that she's overpowered, or do you think the pros might be overreacting a little bit because they're just not used to the changes yet? I really hope you liked the video. If you did, please don't forget to leave a rating. If you never want to miss another video of ours again, please click the bell icon next to the subscribe button on our channel to join the notification squad. You'll be in great company. And finally, please follow the Your Overwatch Twitter. It's where you can find updates about new videos and other cool stuff. I've been Eddie the Chump, and until next time.